Kids are dicks. This one here from Lou Temby. My son, when he was about 8, really wanted a baby brother or sister. So I said to him, darling, that's just not going to happen while mummy is on her own. He replies back with, oh, well, go out one night, get drunk, find someone, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Kathy McNeese. When I was a kid, I asked my nan what it was like to live in a cave. My dad didn't say a word, just turned on his heels and left the room.
That's from Andrea. My youngest asked me why he wasn't allowed sweets before bed / late in the day as he really wanted some. I gave him a bit of a science answer and said that that amount of sugar and sweets wouldn't be burnt off by his body and would be stored usually as fat, which is unhealthy. He promptly responded, you must eat a lot of sweets then, mummy. That's from Ian. Getting dressed this morning, my 4-year-old stepdaughter walks into the room. I'm naked. She sees everything before I can cover up, whilst apologising to her, etc. Her response is, that's nothing. My dad's touches the floor.
Jane Moran. When I was in my early 40s, I was incredibly fit, running a marathon every 6 months.
Whoa.
I was dressed up to go out for a night out on the tiles and asked my 16-year-old if I looked all right. Just before I left, her response was, what are you worrying about? No one looks at you anymore anyway.
Oh!
Alison Wade with another teen. When my son was 14, we took him to Hawaii. After a day at the beach, I sent him to the car to get our change of clothes. A few minutes later, he comes running down the path with my bra in his hand, shouting, look, Mum, I'm parasailing.
Oh my gosh. That's from Nicole Biggs. A couple of weeks ago, my daughter and my grandson were driving past the building being constructed. My grandson asked his mum what the building was. She explained it was an old person's home. Without missing a beat, he goes, oh, is that where Nanny is going to live? I'm 54.
Ryan Beatty. I'm the youngest of 4. When I was about 8 years old, my eldest brother convinced me that hot dogs were made from monkeys' peckers. A few days later, they were serving hot dogs for lunch in school, and I thought it would be a good idea to tell the whole table that they were eating monkeys' dicks. One kid threw up. I ruined everyone's lunch, got in trouble when they told on me for it. I thought I was helping them out just by telling them not to keep eating them. Last one from me. This is from Glenn Fuller. When I was 6, my nana was babysitting me for the night. Before the night came to a bad fork in the road, she loved the darts. I was obviously not, but I was curious about Nana's cigarette lighter. So when she fell asleep on the couch that night, I started to flick, flick, flick at the lighter until a flame came out. So impressed I made a fire. I wanted to see if I could make a bigger fire.
Uh-oh.
I noticed the vase full of fake dry flowers at the head side of the couch when Nana was dozing. So I lit it. Within a second, this thing went up and sprayed embers into the air, which found its way into Nana's hair, which she drowned in hairspray twice a day.
Oh.
Well, let me tell you, I found out about combustion that day. Within a second, she was consumed in flames from her forehead upwards and lost everything. I mean everything. Burnt a lot off her head. Fortunately, no real damage, but I didn't get a birthday present from her that year.
Jeez, full Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. Oh my, kids are dicks.
This one here is from Jess Kind. My son offered me a piece of his Oreo biscuit. It was part of the turd that he pulled out of his nappy. Stephen Gale Shoot. My buddy's neighbour had a kid and told us that the 1980s were, and I quote, millions and billions of years ago.
Kids are dicks.
My youngest kid, Kyle, had watched the original Deadpool movie. A couple of days later, he walked up to me and in true Deadpool fashion, dropped one knee and proudly yelled, cock shot, and proceeded to smash me right on my dick. He's lucky I couldn't move, or he may have not made it to 17.
Okay, buckle up. Story time. Here we go. This is from Carissa. About 8 years ago, I worked at a hospital as a nursing assistant in a very small town in Montana. One very early part of the morning, about 2 a.m., a mother and son walked in while the mother was frantically asking for help. Her son, who was in a severe amount of pain in his stomach. Her 8-year-old son, however, was screaming and crying and screaming for help. It was just quite intense. So we took him into the emergency room to start trying to figure out what was going on with her son and what was wrong. While the mum was waiting in the waiting room, her son then started to scream, "My wiener! My wiener!" So me and the nurse had a look to see what was wrong with his wiener. Come to find out that his older brother had dared him to shove an entire toothpick up the end of his wiener as far as he could.
Oh, Jesus.
Got him. His wiener was so swollen to the point where it was very difficult to pull out. We managed to pull it out safely without any splinters staying behind inside of the guy.
How do you know, though?
Then we put the toothpick in a cup to show the mother and tell her what was wrong with her son. She went from being a very worried mother to a very pissed off mother that her son was stupid enough to play such a stupid game. So, needless to say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.